Welcome to Next Gen Expressions.
Hey guys, welcome to Next Gen Expression. Now, have you ever wondered why two kings or two nations go into battle, but one is going to win, the other is going to lose for sure? Two people cannot emerge victorious in a contest. One have to lose, one have to win. But I have found out that people don't go into battle or into competition blindly. They go with a strategy. However, strategy is not enough to win a battle or to win a competition, a contest, or a challenge, whatever the case may be. There has to be a form of intelligence backing your strategy. Now, the intelligence backing, fueling, or driving your strategy determine who's going to win and who's going to lose. And that is the same allegory I've found out in life. In life, the more superior your intelligence is, the higher and more prominent you advance in your field. Whatever your field may be it in tech, be it in business, be it sport, policies, whatever, there have to be a form of intelligence that is backing everything you do. And that is why you cannot afford to run your life without any form of intelligence. However, there are different levels of intelligence because the guy that went to battle and actually lost also came with a form of intelligence, right? But the more superior your intelligence is, determines how far or how victorious you're going to emerge in that battle. Which is why today I want to talk to you about supremacy of spiritual intelligence. Because I found out that the superior, the most superior intelligence there is out there in the world today is spiritual intelligence. And that is the key intelligence you need to ground your strategy to be able to advance and emerge victorious in any contest, challenge you find yourself in this race we find ourselves called life. Now, life is very interesting, life is very beautiful, but life can also be very competitive and also very challenging. Jesus actually said that in this world we're going to have tribulation, but he also said, be of good cheer, I overcome the world. Now, you as an individual, you've got to make up your mind that in this race of life, in this race called destiny or whatever makes sense to you, you have to make up your mind. Am I in this to win or am I in this to lose? It's okay. I mean, a couple of people are okay with defeat, but I believe I'm not speaking to that category of people today. I'm speaking to people who have made up their mind to actually emerge victorious in life. And that is why, again, I'm talking about the supremacy of spiritual intelligence. Now, let's break it down. There are different levels of intelligence out there. The supreme level of intelligence we have is spiritual intelligence, and that's because spiritual intelligence is actually the God kind of intelligence. You say the cosmos, the world, or the aeons, the universe as we see it today. There's been a lot of controversies as to how the universe came into being. Some say the Big Bang theory, some say the evolution theory, or what a lot of theories out there. But one thing I strongly believe is that, I mean, nature has made it so obvious. The order we see in nature made it so obvious. This couldn't have been um, a result of a coincidence. There is an intelligence back of everything we see in creation today. I mean, have you gone into the wild? Have you gone to the safaris? Have you gone to into the body of water, the oceans? Have you studied the cosmos? Have you studied the planetary system? Have you studied how orderly things are organized? Have you even taken time to study the human anatomy and see how everything functions to a minute detail and precision? So there is an intelligence that actually creates this world, and good news is that intelligence has not expired. That intelligence is still in vogue. If you're a Bible scholar or you love to read the Bible like I do, if you take time to read the book of Proverbs chapter 8, you will discover that God actually created this world on the back of a spiritual intelligence called wisdom. We saw wisdom giving us updates as to how things came into being. Things didn't just happen. Wisdom was actually the the spiritual intelligence that God actually worked. Now let me break it down because people most times get this convoluted. When God was to create the heaven and the earth, and it was to create His work as we see it today, it didn't just start creating things. It came up with its own spiritual intelligence. The same way in our world today, we have artificial intelligence, whereby technologies and scientists have come with some different models of, of AI. And basically, what they are doing is that they are training a machine in certain forms of intelligence, and they are pouring in a lot of data, into this machine, training this machine to actually begin to think in a certain way, so they can begin to deduce and begin to predict based on certain realities and certain data that are being fed into them. Now, having done all of the hard work to create artificial intelligence, AI now begins to automate tasks for the creator. AI begins to automate tasks for the people, for the users who are actually utilizing this form of intelligence. In the same vein, God created his own automation system called wisdom, which I have called spiritual intelligence, because I need people to understand that this is a form of intelligence. Yeah. God created his own, system of automation based on wisdom. And that which God created many years ago is still automating things till date. And that is why we don't need any special effort for the sun to shine, you know, when we wake up in the morning, or for the rain to come down in its season. All these things have been automated. In the same vein, you can automate your life for success by leveraging and infusing your heart with spiritual intelligence. Now, before I go too far, let me quickly break down to you the key details of wisdom, or the key details of spiritual intelligence you need to actually automate your life and actually succeed in life. Number one intelligence you need before embarking on any journey of life is the intelligence of who you are. Who are you? Yes, the question is to you, who are you? You need to understand who you are, because the understanding of you gives you a clear cut description of the realities of your life and the realities you can begin to aim for. Life would not respond to those who don't have a clear understanding of who they are. Because if you don't know who you are, you're not going to know what you want. Neither are you going to know, a whole lot of things out there that actually make sense for your life and for your destiny. This is why the key intelligence you need to know who you are. Jeremiah chapter 1 says, before I formed thee in your mother's womb, I knew you. So you have to know who you are, not who you are right now. You have to know you that God knew before you were formed in your mother's womb. That understanding and that intelligence goes a long way in simplifying many things for you. Because right now, once you have that understanding or that intelligence, you're not going to run your life haphazardly. Your life now has a meaning, your life has a purpose. The steps, the moves, the decision you make are guided and calculated. You begin to operate with a high level of precision, and you are getting result at a high level. And that is the key to actually becoming a high impact individual in life. The question to you again is, who are you? How do you answer the question of who are you? You have to understand, number one, you are not a banker, you are not a doctor, you are not an engineer, you are not lawyer, physicians, or whatever. There is something unique about you. Go back to Jeremiah chapter 1. The Bible says, before I formed thee in your mother's womb, I knew you. So there is something God knew about you before your womb existed, or before your birthday, before the day you were brought forth into this world. You have to do the honors. You have to, take the honor upon yourself to find out what is it about me. And it's very easy to actually find out those things, because one of the beautiful things about God is He has unlocked within nature itself the eternal counsel of God. Inside of you, there are key things about you that you don't need anybody to talk to you about, and it's just unique. There's some uniqueness about your life that you know, but probably because of society influence, teachings and exposures you've given yourself to, you decide not to take actions in those directions, or you decide not to give attention to those uniqueness about you. So to understand who you are, you have to understand your uniqueness. What are the things that are unique to me? What are the things that if everybody compliment about me? What are the things, what are the yearnings on the that is just unique to me? People want to do so many things, but there is a yearning on the inside of me that is just different from what every other person is doing. Again, who are you? How do you know who you are? You know who you are by going, you know, leveraging the power, the what I call the power of isolated meditation, whereby you are taking time to just understand in the deepness of your thoughts. You are allowing the Spirit of God that created you to communicate the truth about you to you. The Bible says, through desire, a man, having separated himself, intermeddles with all kinds of knowledge. Again, who are you? That's the number one intelligence you need to discover. I'm going to do another series. How do you uncover yourself? Discovering yourself, discovering who you are, discovering the real you. The second intelligence I want to share with you that you really need to do for life and for excelling in anything you do is you need intelligence on what life is all about. A lot of people have gone through life without understanding life itself. When you ask people, many people, this question, what is life about? You could summarize it into these few statements. Well, life is all about enjoying your childhood, going into school, get good grades, get a good job, settle down, get married, have kids, train your kids to run the same circle, become a granddad or a grandma, and retire, then you wait to die. And people run this entire circle to thinking actually, this is what life is all about. Life can never be about this. Going to school, getting a job, getting married, having kids, and repeat the process for your kids, then you die. No. So what is life about? If we take it a step back and we retrospect, in the beginning, why did God bring man into the scene in the beginning? The Bible says, God said, let us make man in our own image and after our own likeness. And the Bible says specifically, and let them have dominion over everything we've made. Let them subdue. Let them replenish the earth. And all the wonderful things that God said about man. That is the purpose of life. That is what life is about. Life is about dominating your world, Life is about making an impact, an indelible impact on your world, such that when you are done with your time here on earth, there is something about you. I'm not talking about you, the memory of you in the hearts of people, no, but there is something about you that has made this world a better place. That is what life is all about. Dominating your world so much that you are enforcing, you are superimposing your impact on this earth, such that this earth is becoming a better place because of you. That is what life is all about. So you have to, again, we have to do another symposium conversation about this, because trust me, there is a whole lot in that, understanding how to become a man of eternal significance. That is a whole lot. The next thing I want to quickly talk about is you need to understand, um, another intelligence you need to understand is that you also need to know what is your role. Why is your role important, or why does it matter? Why do I have to create impact? Why do I have to live an impactful life? Or what is actually my role in having dominion over this world as we see it today? Now, key things I'm just going to quickly share with you, because I want to tidy this up nice and quick. The one who told you that before you were formed in your mother's womb, that is God. The Bible says about God, He is the God who works all things according to the counsel of His will. That means why your role here is important because it is important to God. And that was the key reason why you were created. So understanding who you are, understanding what life is all about, and understanding why your role here is very important is a key intelligence you need to, I mean, for starters, to get you started and to get you on the right path, on the right direction. I'm just gonna quickly run again. Um, Attributes of spiritual intelligence. If you give your heart to those things I'm sharing to you, 7 key things are gonna happen to you. Number one, you're gonna experience stability. You're gonna experience preservation. You're gonna experience prominence in life. You're gonna experience promotion. You're gonna experience honor, goodwill, and glory. You will enjoy the 7 key things when you begin to give your heart to spiritual intelligence. And those 3 key intelligence, you begin to when you begin to go after it, you begin to uncover it, then you begin to see yourself respond in this way. So how do you get into this flow? How does this flow becomes a reality for you? I think this is a conversation we're going to have next time. You just got to lock into it, and I'll be sharing that with you in the next episode of this conversation. Thank you very much. Bye.